My name is Lydia Collins, and the day my marriage cracked open was not during an argument or a dramatic confession. It happened in the middle of a real estate viewing, inside a bright modern condo owned by a German man. I pretended I didn't understand a single word they were saying. But then I heard one sentence that split my world in half. For 15 years, I had been the quiet wife, the agreeable one, the one who kept her head down and kept the house running. My husband Ethan liked it that way. He had the big job, the strong voice, and the firm belief that he always knew better. I had a simple accounting job and a habit of hiding my thoughts before they reached my lips. Year after year, I made myself smaller in every conversation, every decision, every room. But that morning, riding the elevator to the 12th floor, something inside me started tapping, quietly reminding me, this is not the only life possible. Imagine standing right next to your husband while he speaks freely in a language he thinks you don't know, and hearing exactly what he really thinks of you. That's what happened to me. For most people, home is where they relax. For me, home became the place where I held my breath. Ethan filled every corner with his opinions, his routines, his decisions. If I ever suggested something different, he waved it away or sighed like my ideas were just noise. When I once mentioned taking a floral design class, he laughed so loud I felt stupid for even speaking. He called it a waste of money and said I'd quit in a month. I never brought up hobbies again. At work, my paycheck was small, and Ethan never let me forget that his job paid for everything. Whenever we argued, he reminded me who paid the mortgage, the cars, the vacations. It always came with a sting. Evenings were the same script. He watched TV loud, I cooked, cleaned, and tried not to disturb him. The quieter I became, the easier life was for him, and the harder it was for me. One night, while cleaning the kitchen, a free German course ad popped up on my phone. I almost scrolled past, but I clicked. That tiny click became my first step out. I studied only 15 minutes a night at first, whispering words while Ethan watched sports. I kept the bedroom door almost closed so the TV covered my voice. It felt exciting, like waking up after years asleep. 15 minutes became 30, then an hour. I filled a secret notebook with words and grammar, hidden under blankets. I never told Ethan. I already knew what he'd say: pointless, silly, a waste of time. So German became my quiet rebellion, my secret freedom. The next day, Ethan found a condo listed by a German man named Hans. He didn't ask what I thought. He just announced we were going to see it. The place was beautiful, bright windows, perfect kitchen. I whispered that I liked it. He brushed it off and kept talking to Hans, in German. I stayed silent, pretending I understood nothing. I wanted to hear how he spoke when he thought I couldn't listen. Hans was warm, kind, talking about the building, the neighbors, his family. Ethan translated only tiny pieces, twisting everything to fit what he wanted. Then they talked paperwork. Hans explained sometimes properties are registered under one name first, just to make things easier. He asked Ethan if he wanted to do that. Ethan leaned back, lowered his voice, and said in German, "She doesn't need to know. She doesn't understand anything anyway. I'm the one paying. I decide. It's none of her concern." My hands went cold. My cup shook. None of her concern. In that moment, everything I had ignored for years crashed into me. I wasn't angry yet. I was heartbroken. The man I married never saw me as an equal. On the drive home, he hummed happily. I stared out the window, those words burning in my head. When we walked in, he went straight to the sofa and turned on the TV. I stood in the hallway, then stepped forward. "We need to talk," I said. He sighed. "Can it wait?" I just sat down. "No, not this time." I asked whose name he planned to put on the deed. He lied smoothly, "Both of ours, of course." Then I repeated, word for word, what he said in German. The color left his face. "You understand German?" he whispered. "Since when?" "That's not the question, Ethan. The question is why you felt safe saying I don't matter." He shouted, defended, blamed, paced. But for the first time, his words bounced off me. I had a wall now. I told him I couldn't stay in a marriage where my voice meant nothing. He grabbed his keys, said he'd stay at a friend's, expecting me to beg him back. The door slammed. The silence after wasn't heavy anymore. It felt honest. The next morning I called Hans. My hands shook, but I told him I spoke German, and I heard everything. He said softly, "I thought so. You were too quiet." I've seen that look before on my own daughter. He offered to lower the price and wait while I figured things out. Because no woman should feel small in her own home. Those words gave me hope I hadn't felt in years. Ethan came back after 3 days. We barely spoke. While he slept on the sofa, I sat at the kitchen table every night, researching divorce, finances, mortgages. I found a job posting, accounting for a company with European branches. German required. I applied. I got the interview. I got the job, higher pay, real future. When the divorce finished, Ethan bought out my share of our old condo. I took that money, got approved for my own mortgage, and bought Hans's place, the one that started everything. I signed the papers with shaking hands, not from fear, from pride. 1 year later, I stood at my huge windows watching city lights, in a home I chose, every corner mine. I'm Lydia Collins, and this is my story, brought to you by Stories. If you're holding your breath in your own life right now, listen to me. You are not stuck. You are not powerless. And it's never too late to choose yourself. New chapters begin the day you decide they do. Thank you for watching Stories. If this touched you, like, share, and comment where you're watching from. I read every single one. See you in the next story.